Hello, YouTube. It's been a while. I'm trying to get um over here so that I can do the super chat. Give me just a moment, guys, while I get the rest of this set up here. Okay. So I am really appreciative for those of you who are joining. I usually try to keep up with my phone, but I end up missing a lot of people. Hey, Nicole. Thanks for joining me today. I so we're going to talk about this crazy thing called love, okay guys? It's a lot of people have been asking me about how I feel about love and different things like that. And as you guys know, I have the frequency of love ritual coming up. And so because of that, I've been getting a whole lot more questions, but I had a conversation, a reading that actually touched my heart last night, and then we finished talking this morning. We got an interruption last night. She had to get off early, but the young lady who I did the reading for, when I tell you that sometimes you don't expect it, but sometimes in this walk or on this path during this doing this spiritual work, your life changes just in a matter of moments because of who you come in contact with. So this young lady is really open, honest. She's had a heart broken quite a few times, and I asked her, could I use her story, because I felt like I maybe needed to do a video concerning a lot of what we discussed, because it was supposed to be a reading, which it was, but it turned more into a coaching session because I do both. So anyway, guys, let me just kind of jump right in here. For those of you who are on my M Rain Facebook page, you already saw the post earlier about some of the stuff that she brought up, some of the issues that she brought up, and everything. Hi, unconscious guru. Thank you. Thank you for the love offering. I gotta get used to that. I'll be forgetting that people can give to you on YouTube. So thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. So one of the issues that she brought up, and the primary one I want to talk about, she said, why is it so painful to love a man? I remember when I was younger, I had a lot of brothers, and one of my brothers had a wife who cheated on him a lot. And I remember hearing men say the same thing, like, loving a woman is so hard, it's just so difficult, and this and that and the other. And so from both perspectives, there's this disconnect, or this place where a lot of people feel like they can't get through that veil that separates the sexes. And it's become, and we even make it a game, men versus women, battle of the sexes. And we don't realize that just by embracing that theory, we make the situation worse. And while it may be fun to have a battle of the sexes in various board games, or television shows, or whatever the case may be, when you have to go home and live with your husband and live with your wife, it's a whole different story. Then that's not fun anymore. It's not fun to be at war with your spouse. It's not fun to be challenged on what we eat and how the dishes are washed, what color we decorating the house with, who's taking out the trash. When your home life becomes a battlefront, that is not fun by no means. But it happens because, listen guys, and I want you to understand this principle. This is a principle, okay? You can lay it down and you can call it settled, okay? When life is not neatly stored away in boxes, so you got to understand how your subconscious mind works. It takes in everything that you give it equally, okay? So if you in your mind have embraced men as the enemy or women as the enemy in any area, that will bleed through into all other areas. It may take a little while, but it will bleed through, because the subconscious cannot be compartmentalized like we do our conscious mind. Now, conscious mind, when I'm at work, I'm at work. You know, when I'm at church, I'm at church. When I'm at home, I'm at home. And we're able to put all these compartments up. But the compartments are really a lie. That's why it don't work in the subconscious, okay? Because as much as we may think when we're at work, we're able to focus on just being whatever it is we are at work, the mother side of us or the wife side of us or the husband side of us or the home side of us or whatever other side of us sometimes get in because the compartments are not secure, because they're not real. They're an illusion. They're a construct of a conscious mind. Okay. And so when it comes to dealing with love, okay, love is a journey. Love is a journey. And a lot of people think it's a destination. And so when they get someone in their life, and I'm trying to keep this sexually neutral right now, but I'm going to get deeper in a minute. So they think that because they have someone, they've arrived at this place called love, and it's all going to be great and wonderful and powerful. It's going to be, you know, he loves me and I love him, and we're doing these things together, and it's, oh my God, because the hardest part is finding love. But love is not a destination. And so when you come out of that thinking and you realize what it is, a journey, you also realize that in every journey that you take, like right now, if I left Louisiana and I decided that I'm going to New York, I'm going to pass through many states. Catch me now. So I will leave here and I might pass through Arkansas, or I might go the way through Mississippi, who knows? But I might pass through Arkansas, and I might pass through Oklahoma, and I might pass through Tennessee. And I'm going to go through these states to get to New York, right? But when I get to New York, even though that is the destination, that's not where the journey ends, okay? So a lot of times it's like when you get love, you think that this is the final destination when really a whole new journey begins. Because as a single person, and this is a lot of the reason why a lot of people are not happy, they don't understand that as a single person, there's a whole different set of rules versus those that are connected to someone else. Now, I will say this, and I'm adamant about this. The idea of cheating, I've divorced that idea. I mean, I still have to use the terminology because I'm still in this 3D reality. But the fact of the matter is, what is cheating as it pertains to, and I want you guys to understand the perspective that I'm coming from when I'm talking about this. I'm talking about the worldwide accepted version of it, which is a man sleeping with somebody other than his woman, and a woman sleeping with somebody other than the man that she says she's with. Okay, to call that cheating is just really absurd. It really is, because we own our bodies and we get to choose what we do with them, whether it be male or female, okay? Whether you're married or single. And here's the thing, we are taught in this 3D construction that if a man or a woman sleeps with anybody other than us after they meet us, that they don't love us. But I'm going to tell you something. There's no thought put into that for you to even take that and live your life like that. Because think about, not all of you, but the majority, we're talking 95% or better. Think about how many people you cared about, but you were sleeping with someone else. Some of you right now are in love with somebody and married to somebody else. So you already know that that's BS, but we will use it when a person violates us, so to speak, in that way. Okay, well, you said you love me, so why would you go and be with this person and that person? It's the same reason why you would do it, okay? And you have done it. So we got to first get rid of the BS and the fluff and the dross and the BS. I want to say it so bad, but this is YouTube and not Facebook, okay? So we got to get rid of that stuff first, because that's all lies, it's all fluff, it's all excuses, it's all confusion, okay? Now, when you get down to the bottom line of it, as a single person, you have obvious freedom to do anything that you want. And it's many of you who have been programmed to believe you're not successful until you get married, and you're getting married, but you're in love with the single life. And so that's a problem all by itself. You're getting into these long-term relationships of commitment and making all these assurances and promises because you've been taught that's what you're supposed to do at a certain age, but your heart is with the single life. And so I'm gonna start there first. If you know you don't really want to be beholden to someone, don't let anybody force you to believe you have to be in a committed relationship or married, because you don't. That's not a marker of success unless you make it a marker of success. Everybody is not meant to be a husband, and everybody is not meant to be a wife. And that's just all it is to it. If you are the selfish type, okay, I ain't say self-full, selfish. If you are the type that's very selfish, that's very that you think more about what you want, and your highest goal is keep yourself happy, you have no business telling someone else that you're going to commit yourself to them, because you're not going to do it. You're committed to you. See, a lot of us are in love with ourselves, and we're so in love with ourselves, and I'm using that word lightly, that term lightly. We're so in love with ourselves, there's not room for anyone else on those deeper levels of commitment. Okay. So now, if there are also people who want to be committed, but you also want to be free, you're trying to find that balance right there in the middle. It's like, I want to have somebody special in my life, but I don't need that to suffocate me or, squeeze the life out of me. I don't want to look at your face every day. I don't want to talk to you all day long on the phone. I don't want to text constantly. It has nothing to do with the fact that I don't love you. It's just that I don't want to do that. And see, listen, guys, let me backpedal for a minute, because I got to explain something to you guys. We live in a world or a construct that teaches us to lie and teaches us to make others lie to us. If you start a relationship that is not free for truth, then you're going to suffer. And it's true. Now, this is something I can tell you from personal experience. I'm in my 40s now. I think back, and I've had a lot of relationships, and I've had a lot of great guys. I've had some crappy guys too, okay? But most of them really were great. I can honestly say that. I wasn't always great. And I have been great to some people. And some people I wasn't worth a damn. It's just the truth. But I look back and I think about how many times I fed people lies, how many times I behaved in a way that would make a person not want to tell me the truth, how many times I was scared to tell the truth, even though I really wanted to. And so it's that suppression of truth in a relationship that will begin to destroy it before it ever gets off the ground. So what am I meaning by suppression of truth? Well, if a man, and I'm gonna tell you something, this could be like TMI, but I'm gonna say it because it's not enough people having real talk. I have had guys in my life who were honest, like, I want to F you so bad, but I don't want a relationship with you because you crazy. And it was just like, damn, I kind of can appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? I can really appreciate that. It's a breath of fresh air. But a lot of you have this false sense of morality and this false sense of decorum that's been pushed into you all your life. To you, that was disrespectful. To me, back in a time in my life, that would have been disrespectful. But now I realize that was the highest form of honor. I'm going to tell you up front, this is all I want. I want to lay between your legs a few times, one time, it don't matter, and go on about my business, because I don't really want to deal with you on a relationship level. Well, as I lived a little longer, I got to a place where I was looking for that at times in my life. It was like, I don't want a relationship. I don't want a man who gonna sneak in and leave his drawers, then leave his shoes. Next thing you know, he living with me. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to end up in a situation where I'm always at his house so much that I just move in. I just want some comfort tonight, and that's it. Okay. So, but if I was to say that out loud, it was like, she's such a hoe, or she's such a this. These judgments that we hold as true, even though we ourselves have violated them. And we will sit there in judgment of other people so harshly, like we're perfect in that area. And that's BS, to put it lightly. Okay, so when you stop truth, all you have is deception. And so you're building a house, a mansion, or whatever, a legacy on sinking sand. So how do you stop that? You stop it by making the truth what you actually start with and how you end with it. I had to tell someone not too long ago, my body is my body, and I'm married, okay? Has nothing to do with whether or not I'm going to actually go out here and sleep with a bunch of people. It has nothing to do with that. But at this point in my life, I don't play those games anymore. This is my body. I decide what I'm going to do with it. I don't have time to make false promises because I don't know what tomorrow holds. I think about times when I've been with a man, and y'all know how it is. You know, you're with them and you love them and everything is so great. And it's like, I would never cheat on you. I would never leave you. Just about, we say that to everybody that we think we love. I never leave you. I never cheat on you. You think that you wouldn't at that moment. But if you live long enough, surely, and if you look around enough, surely you are starting to realize that all of this ish is just ish. So what's the truth? It's not hard to love a man, and it's not hard to love a woman. It's impossible to control them. Okay? I'm going to let you guys sit with that for a minute. Love and control are two different things. What we want to do is own a person, control their mind and their body. And here's the thing. When I was a Christian preacher, we used to talk about free will a lot. That's like this debate point for Christian preachers and ministers. So it was always coming up about free will. Well, how is it free will if this? And the situation will come up where in the Bible it says God hardened Pharaoh's heart because Pharaoh was about to let the people go, which is exactly what God asked him to do. But then God said, no, I don't really want you to let him go. I'm asking you to, but you got to say no. So he hardened his heart to make him say no, just so he could punish him for saying no. And that was always BS. And of course, I know that that's BS, but there's a lesson in that, okay? Some of us are just like that story, okay? Think about this. I'm going to use a common analogy. What do you want to eat? I don't know. What do you want? Well, I really don't know. And so then they say, okay, well, I want chicken. Well, I don't want no chicken. Like, okay, well, what you want? I don't know anything but chicken. So this couple is having this long drawn out situation, but secretly inside one of you really want a steak, but you don't want to mention the steak because you don't want that person to shoot it down. You hoping that you can send them some mental suggestions to get them to say what you want when you have a mouth to speak what you want yourself. It's the same thing in love. It's like, I want you to love me, and I want you to trust me. It's like, why don't we feel comfortable just saying that? I want you all to myself and I don't want to share. And then for the other person to feel comfortable enough to say, I love you, but I can't promise you that you're the only person I'm going to be with. And then for the ball to be passed back and for that person to be able to say, see, this is how it's supposed to go. Okay, well, you know what? You bring enough to the table and I like being with you so much that what you do on your own time is not my business, and that's cool. Okay. Likewise, I take those same freedoms for myself, whether they're ever used or not, because you got to understand something. When you're having this hidden conversation where it's all about control, it's manipulative. Like the whole God and Pharaoh thing, that's manipulation at its finest. And a lot of us do our relationships like that. It's all manipulative. It's like, I'm going to get off the pill, but I ain't going to say nothing because I really do want him to marry me. And I heard him mention one time that he want all his kids by one woman. So now I'm going to have a baby because that'll kind of stick him to me. Now, I'm not judging anyone who do these things. I want you to understand that. Please understand this has nothing to do with judgment. This is just talking about the facts, right? So what happens is, 10 years down the line, you forward along, he's married to somebody that he has no kids by. She got kids by somebody else, and he got 3 kids by different women, and you being one of them, and you realize it might have been you to break it off because he never really was what you wanted. Because you never sat down and had an honest conversation with yourself about what you wanted. So when people ask me, why is it so hard to love a man or love a woman, and why do relationships require so much work, and why do they hurt so bad, and why can't I find this and find that? Half of the time at least it's because you didn't know that you wanted it until you jumped into this state, this ship, and discovered that that's not exactly what you wanted. It's like he was lying a lot. Okay, I do want truth. And sometimes it's better to sit with yourself and discover what things make you happy rather than going through all these states on your way to your destination. You all going through Tennessee. Next thing you know, you all in Michigan, but you're supposed to be headed to New York. It's like you going through all these states, learning all these lessons, taking damage to the heart, taking damage to the mentality, letting your subconscious be filled with filth because you're wanting to learn as you go versus sit with yourself. Okay. My grandma used to tell me all the time, it's only 2 ways to get a lesson. You can buy it, you can listen, get it for free, or you can buy it through experience. And everybody loves to say experience is the best teacher, but it's not always, because everything you experience you won't survive. Okay, a lot of people wanted to experience bungee jumping. Not everybody who has bungee jumped lived through it. Okay, and that's not to make you afraid of experience, it's just to make you aware of the truth, because sometimes when it comes to spirituality, people get too far off in the white, too far off in the dark, and they lose balance. It's like, well, I'm not going to be afraid of anything. I'm not going to be afraid of anything. Don't be afraid of anything. That doesn't mean that there's not things out there that's dangerous. Be aware, not afraid. See, fear comes from lack of awareness. Fear comes from a whole different place. Awareness is all about making informed decisions, meaning, okay, I know what I'm looking at when I'm looking at this man or this woman, and because they are presenting the full picture, I can make an informed decision, and I can decide if that's something I want to deal with. But on the other hand, I also have to be clear. Why do I have to be clear? Because I can't be weighing them on the false system that has been fed to me all my life. A man got to do this, got to do that, got to do this, got to do that. A woman got to do this, do that, do this, do that. All that shit false. What's inside of me? Okay, inside of me, the only thing that I really want is a lot of laughter, a lot of companionship, holding hands on the beach, a lot of trips. I'm not saying that's what I want. I'm just throwing some stuff out there. Those are the things that make me happy. Okay. And really and truly, I'm not a hypersexual person, so I don't care what he does when I'm not around. Let's just say that's the thing. So here's this man who has all this that you need. And he has a lot of female friends. Not a lot. I'm going to say 2 or 3. Let's just say he got 2 or 3 female friends that he also talked to. It's like, well, I'm going to be your 4th friend. How about that? And we're going to have fun. And that's okay, because I choose for that to be what I want to do. You're not deceiving me, and I'm not deceiving myself. Most of the times we struggle because we are deceived. And all deception from without comes from within first. Before another person can deceive you, you have to have been practicing self-deception. You may not believe it, but it's true. And I'll give you an example. I had a guy, and he's one of my longtime clients. But he was talking about how he keep having these situations with women. And he was talking about how, every time he get a woman, it be this way, that way for a little while. And then she kind of flip out and become all these different things. And I look at all the pictures of the different women he's been with. It's like, dude, you doing this to yourself, because you're not even looking at what her qualifications are. You're looking at the size of her waist, the size of her breast, the size of her butt, and how pretty her face is, and how well she wear her weave or her wig. And it's obvious that is what you're looking at. You keep saying you're looking for a woman, but what you're looking for is a trophy who just happens to also be a woman. But if you will go in search of the woman, she might not look as good as them Barbie dolls you like to walk around with, but you don't have to worry about being broke, having to start over, losing jobs, losing cars, losing all this shit. You ain't got to worry about that, okay? Because you chose by character instead and content of the heart instead of what's on the outside. We got to be real. Same thing with a lot of women. You know, you want him because everybody else want him. Everybody else want him. What do you think you're getting into? You want him because he's super successful. Now all of a sudden he ain't got time for you. What did you think you were getting into? I do not give anybody a victim card. I'm not the right mentor or teacher for that, okay? Because I don't even do it for myself. I get down to the heart of the matter and let people uncover what their issue is. We can talk all day long about how men aren't faithful. We can talk all day long even about how blacks are divided against themselves. We always got these soapbox issues. And when we get on these soapboxes, and I'm not saying we don't need a discussion, but a discussion that does not weigh in who you really are, how you really think, and the shit you really do is not a real discussion. It's just BS. It's just blowing hot air. And that's why most discussions don't lead anywhere, because it's not based off of real truth. It's not real truth if it ain't coming through like this. Okay? A lot of people can project a whole lot of things and make it sound a whole lot of different ways. That means nothing. It only means something when you know for yourself where you stand on the issue based upon your own experiences and your own thoughts. So when it comes to relationships, there's beautiful relationships out here. The most beautiful relationships, you're not going to read about it on Facebook or Instagram. You're not going to see all these pictures everywhere. You're not going to see all these pictures of him cooking dinner and her cleaning the house. And they're not out here sharing like that with the whole world because they're too busy living it. Like, you got to understand something. And this is why, like, recently, you guys who've been following me, you notice that I've added people to my pages and my groups to help, do the administration part. I've turned over my inbox, so I'm not in my inbox as much. I'm not taking quite as many readings. I'm streamlining the process. If you want to work with me, you need to do the apprenticeship. If you want to do the apprenticeship, you need to make that $5,000 commitment because it's worth more than that. Okay. So because of that, and I'm doing the classes, the video classes, the courses on my website and that kind of thing, because I still have to have time for me to work on me, for me to clear me. If I spend, and this is what had happened to me for about 3 months here, my whole life was wrapped up in all my clients, all my apprentices, and all of my body butters and my oils and my this and my that. And then I thought about it. I was at Alchemy's altar one day for her to bless something. And I was doing this ritual for someone else. And it's like so clearly I could hear my ancestors say, when was the last time that you did a ritual for you and no one else? When was the last time that you did a meditation or a channeling for you and no one else? How far down this rabbit hole are you going to slip before you wake up and realize you're not even living for you anymore, and all the progress that you made is gone because you've given it up to everybody else? See, I can serve others, but it has to flow like this, okay? Love has to flow like this. Like, a lot of people want someone to come in and make them happy and make their life better. Like, what the hell? Why would you do that to somebody? Don't nobody owe you to fix your life. Fix your own life. And then you can make a good decision about who fits a good life. It's like, I already have a good life. Like, see, for instance, I'll give you a perfect example. I have lived my life in times where I needed the man I was with. That's a horrible situation. Even the sweet ones, even the good ones who would give me anything in the world, okay? Some part of me on the inside did not like being the little kept sugar baby or the little trophy. It's like, damn it, I don't actually like to do my hair. I would love to go outside with my hair all over my head sometimes because that's just me. I don't care. I'm not a girly girl, but I got to be a girly girl because the man who's taking care of me requires it. That's slavery, okay? I kept praying and kept trying stuff, always trying stuff, trying to, this is what I call it, your vajayjay buyback program, okay? Trying to buy my vagina back, okay? Because it was on the market, okay? And y'all may think that I'm being funny. I'm being real, okay? When you are with a man who takes complete care of you, you have sold your vajayjay. You just didn't sell it on the street corner. And that's why I hate when women always call other women them derogatory names like they don't know, you know. So I wanted my independence, in other words. I didn't want to be bound to a man. So, and I was thinking, like, this is going to be so neat when I get my independence. Well, fast forward, you look at me now, I buy my own car, my own house. It's hard to meet a man who make as much money as me, let alone more. That's a difficult thing. It's not a whole lot of them, right? So I was thinking, like, I don't need it because I had did live this life so long. It's like I don't need a man to pay my bills. Like, what the hell I'm gonna do with a man then? You know what I'm saying? Because in my mind, I had never let a man become more developed than his wallet. Okay, so I was like, shoot. Well, I mean, sex, but I mean, I could just, you know, myself. It's like I'm good at the tantra. You know what I'm saying? On self. So it's like, what is the point? Change a light bulb, I can do that. My grandmother made sure I could do all of those things, you know. And my son's father made sure I can change a tire. I can jack a car up. I can do some basic things. So what do I need a man for? And then I started realizing what companionship was. See, when you elevate, it will cause you to truly look at where you come from and where you are and how things work on this plane. I remember a time when people used to tell me about they enjoy their husband's company and he's just fun, and I love being around him. Like that was a good enough reason to be in a relationship. It's like, and you know what I'm saying? What else? It's like it don't have to be anything else. So I said that to say this, guys. When you're healed, when you're already happy, when you're already content, when you already have direction in your life, then when other people come along to try to get in your life, it's easy to make a good decision because either they fit or they don't. You don't feel this pressure to conform to someone else because you're cool if you don't have anyone else. And that's the goal. Too many of us jump into relationships because we can't stand to be alone. We can't stand all that alone time. We can't stand laying in the bed by ourselves. That feeling of aloneness creates this void. And I'm listen, it's not good to be alone. I mean, I'm not saying that you have to be alone, but relationships is not the only way to be with other people. Like I am with my apprentices. They know it because I pop up every so often and give them information that they know. I had to been watching to know this. I had to be connected to feel this because we are to a degree like one. So I'm always with them. They're with me. They always watching for me as well. If anything go on, I could be a little bit tired. One of them for sure, probably three, they gonna inbox me and be like, hey, are you resting? Are you okay? Blah, blah, blah. So togetherness is not just sexual. It's not just relationship in male or female or male or female, whatever kind of relationship you practice, right? That's not the only kind of togetherness. And so a lot of people who are desperate for love, and even this frequency of love ritual that I'm doing on the 13th of February to harness all this love energy to get people prepared for the kind of love that they want, starts with divine love. And then it's self-love. And then it gets into romantic love. Why? Because too many people jump into this romantic love. You are breaking your own relationships because you're going in with a black hole. You're going in a deficit. I need you to make me feel beautiful. I need you to make me feel wanted. I need you to make me feel special. You know what? I don't care if my husband has a lock code on his phone or not. Well, one of the reasons why I don't care, to be honest, because I just thought about how I am. One reason why I don't care, to be honest, is because me, if I decide I want to look in your phone, I used to be the type to sneak around. Now I'll get your phone, bring it to you, unlock it, and pass it right back. If you can't do that, then I'm gonna treat you like it's all kind of stuff in there. It ain't no denying it. To deny it is pack your shit and get the hell up out of here. That's how I had become. But I don't care about lock codes, because one of the things she said, why can't I have a man who don't have a lock code, or share his lock code with me and let me keep his phone and have me answer it and answer his text messages and this and that and the other? Why do he have to keep all these secrets and stuff like that? And like, apparently that's a big thing now. After me and her talked, I went online and researched it. Do you know, guys, that, and you guys can Google this and everything, that the majority of new relationships these days, new age relationships, these relationships that's forming today, they break up over social media. They break up because people won't get off their phones, won't get off their iPads or their computers long enough to pay attention to who they have, because of secrets and because of secret flirting and because of dating sites. Like, this stuff is a real thing. And so a lot of people are like, the internet is just ruining relationships. No, because I'm gonna take y'all back a little bit. When I was growing up, there was no internet, right? But people were still breaking up. And I'm gonna tell you something. The blues was the thing. The reason why is because most people had experienced they old man down the block or two sleeping with Susie and Sally, and this person and that person, him making a baby, the wife keeping the baby sometime because they want the kids to know the kids and that kind of thing. All kind of BS was going on. Social media and internet did not create a new phenomenon. It brought it into awareness where people can't deny it. It gave more access for people to be more truly and more fully who they are. Okay. And I'm going to tell you something. We blame men as women. Okay. And a lot of men blame women as men. It's like, well, if she didn't take all these pictures and yada, 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 then be mad when you're in her inbox. It's just like, if I'm nude, that don't mean I want your little nasty penis inside of me. Okay. And for women, it's the same thing. It's just like, you always talking about people asking for pictures, this, that, and the third. Why are you sending them? And don't worry about who else sending them. Let the dead bury the dead. Let the trash hang with the trash. We are too concerned about what everybody else is doing rather than making decisions that we can say honor us. I ain't never sent a man on social media or otherwise a nude picture. Like, there is nobody in the world out there with a nude picture of me. If they got one, they took it while I was asleep. It's never happened. It's not gonna happen. Because that's not me. It is not self-honoring to me, because for me to see me naked somewhere one of these days, or my kids or grandkids to see that, would be for me to catch a charge, because I am not going. I love my body, but I don't want it on Front Street. One of these days I might, for me, not for a man, give me a little nude portrait with a little sheet draped across me, drawn and put on my wall. Okay? And I'm not judging those who do it. However, if you're doing it, why are you complaining about what that brings into your life? Like, a lot of people want to be innocent when their heart is broken. It's like, this is your heart. You chose to give it up. And half of you give it up too freely. You say, oh, he deceived me. Girl, he barely was trying. He called you twice a day and sent you one text that he loved you on top of all of that. And he sent you flowers once or twice, and you think that that's effort. And that shows where you come from. Okay, you come from so low that little bit is enough for you. And so that means to me that you didn't put in the time you needed to make sure you was already good. I don't need a nigga for nothing. Okay. So when he better come correct, because if all you doing is BS, and you can keep that with somebody else, because I'm cool without you. And if you ain't good and cool without him or without her, you not ready. You not ready. It ain't about nobody else. You will draw to you constantly the things that you vibrate. And a lot of you don't believe that, because you're like, well, I ain't never cheated on nobody. You cheat on yourself. So I guess you don't exist, or you don't count. Okay. We got to think about what we say. How many times have you put your goals and your dreams behind everything else going around you or all around you. Well, my kids need me right now, so I'm just gonna postpone my dreams. Well, my mama need me right now. I'm just gonna let her have this, even though I'm trying to save up for a house. Well, blah 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 need me right now. I'm just wait. I could just wait. I could just wait. And then you look up, it's been 30 years of you waiting and you ain't got nothing accomplished because there will always be something crying for your attention. You have cheated you. So when a person come along and they cheat on you, as you say, where did they learn that from? Where did they get that comfort from? Every time that I've been hurt, and I would say this, I hadn't had just a whole lot of relationships where I was being cheated on. That wasn't something, I don't know. I just, and now maybe I did, but I didn't have that. I had a couple. And maybe that's why I didn't have a lot of them, because everybody kind of found out when I was still pretty young that Lucretia will bury a blade in you in a heartbeat. It don't take me long. It's just like you can do one, two, three wrong things. I give everybody three strikes. You know what I'm saying? And I tell them what's coming. And so to me, at that point, if you stick around for it, you wanted it. Okay. So I got a reputation pretty early on, and most people just kind of started skipping me that was about the BS. And that's not to say that's the way to live, but you got to have some kind of standard. And what that means is you can't say to a person, I don't want no man that's always cheating on me, or I don't want no woman that's always spending money and shopping and not thinking about the house or growing legacy or having a business. Whatever it is you don't want. You say you don't want it, so don't accept it. Because when you say, I don't want to be beat, and this joker hits you and you stay with him, you have let him know that you would rather have somebody than to have what you say you want. They lose respect for you. Okay? And a lot of us have sold out just so somebody could be sitting there. And so my thing is this. I've been married 4 times. 4. Okay? And I might be married 4 more. It just is what it is. I don't have any attachments to timing or person. I have an attachment to what it is that makes me happy. Okay? And that's not to say in a sordid way, but I'm not going to make myself miserable ever again just to say, oh, I've been in this relationship because I done had some long relationships, 7 years, 12 years, 4 years, like all of them last a while or whatever. But when I think about it, half of them I knew wasn't gonna work the first few months. And so all of that time after that first few months was time that I just was throwing into something like, well, maybe, well, I know I gotta stay because, well, yeah, because I need to, it's just time thrown away. My life did not get good until I stopped caring. And I'm not talking about lip service, until I stopped caring about trying to make other people think I was successful and happy. That's when my life got good. Okay, let's see what we talking about. Ooh, I missed a lot. Okay. Yeah, honesty is always the best policy, even if it feels bad. And I'm gonna tell you something. I'll use this example. We have it bad dogging, and I'm gonna speak this on the behalf of men. We have it bad dogging men for sleeping with a lot of women, and so we feel like that's bad because he a hoe, or you know what I'm saying, like he ain't no good girl because he got 5 girls he's sleeping with now, this, that, and the other. Well, let me just say this. I don't subscribe to that. If it's because I'm gonna tell you something. One day, now my husband is extremely handsome, and he's tall and he's talented. He can sing and he can rap. Okay, so, and I've had quite a few really, really handsome men, and it's times we've been places, and I'll sit back and I'll watch how women are to get his attention, as if I'm not even sitting there. It's just kind of like the flirtation, the this and the that, and the this and the that. And I think about how often we're driving down the street, half nude woman here, half nude woman there, your breast out here, your butt out there, you this and that. It's just kind of like sensory overload, sensory overload. It's like, how can we as women truly say that men are no good because they fall into the traps that we set? See, I'm gonna tell you something. You can all day long talk about this as a man's world. If it is, it's because women let them have it. Okay, this is a woman's world, and we rule it. Everything right now around us is a result of what we allowed to happen. You say that he don't know how to keep his penis to himself. It's because nobody out there is creating a situation where he don't have a choice. You say he won't get a job, he won't work, he won't be this, he won't be that, because he don't have to, because it's too many open legs and empty heads out there to indulge him just as he is. Okay? One of the things that I will tell you, if y'all never hear my voice again, okay, understand this. People will do what they are allowed to do. All people. They will do what they are allowed to do. When you put up a standard, because a lot of you waiting on Captain Save-A-Ho. He ain't coming, okay? You want somebody else to make your life good. You make it good. I don't care how many no good, low down, dirty scoundrels are out there. I have a standard, baby. If you don't meet it, you don't get in. If you don't have time to show me who you are, you're not getting between my legs. Not unless that's just all I want. And then take your ass on, because this is all I wanted. Okay? We keep saying what they did. What did you do? What are you not doing? That you keep falling into the same thing over and over and over and over again. One day, me and this chick had this discussion. She was like, well, you haven't been married blah, 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 blah times. How you going to tell somebody? It's like, but you have never been even engaged. Yes, every man I get, eventually, yes, they want to marry me. Some immediately, because they know what they're looking at. Because that's exactly how I carry myself. So we always want to jump on a side and make that side better or worse, but that's not what it's about. This is who I am because this resonates with me. It has nothing to do with me being better than you. This is who you are. It's women who enjoy sex with all kind of different men, but they've been forced into shame because of the morality of organized religion say that a woman should only sleep with one man and that should be her husband, and any more than one man, she's just a horrible woman. F that, okay? F it. It's a lie. A woman is not less than a man. Her decisions don't make her worse than a man. If it's your truth that you like multiple stimulation, you like dating, you like sex with different people, whether you are male or female, then that is your truth. And until you get to the place where that is something you can embrace about yourself, okay, I really don't want to be tied down to no one person. That makes me feel suffocated. And until I really want that, I'm not going to pretend this is where I am. Guess what? It's a whole bunch of folks that fit right into that category. Not all of them are free about it, but they fit. Oh yeah, they fit. If you are, on the other hand, the type of person who truly from your heart love the ideology of marriage and fidelity and loyalty and respect and longevity, that's who you are. Be that person. Be that person. And guess what? There are a whole lot of people over here as well. One not better than the other. It has nothing to do with sin and wrong or right. It has everything to do with choice. And we got to stop that. People will jump on the side, and because they're on their side, the other side wrong, so it got to be sin and they horrible, and we start the judgments. When you take away free will, you lose your own. What do I mean? Well, you can't be no hoe and and you gonna go to hell. It's like you gotta live your life a certain kind of way, blah, 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 blah. The finger that's pointing, it's like, okay, well, let's go with that theory. What makes you say that I'm not able or I should not be sleeping with multiple people? Well, because the Bible says, or because that's just not right, and people, it hurts people. Okay, so you judging hurts people. You judging is wrong. You lying is wrong. You speeding is wrong. You texting and answering your phone while you driving is wrong. You eating all that crap that you eat is bad for your body. So that too is wrong. There is no perfect people. When we understand in the sense of what we call perfect, everybody is perfectly them, and that's enough. When we make freedom a reality, then it's like I am, because that's why a lot of you are not free, because you won't let nobody else be free. You don't see that. When you become free, everybody else is free right along with you. It's just like, you free to, same thing I told my husband, you free to do whatever. He hate that when I say that. You are free to do whatever you want, just like I am. Any day that you come in this house, let it be because that's where you want to be. And if you don't want to be here, then you have every right to be wherever you want to be. And I have every right to deal with your decision however I want to, because we are grown people. I'm not going to guilt trip you into coming home. You said you was going to be home at a certain time. I ain't finna do all that. Why? And I don't want to hear all of that. I'm past it. I've elevated beyond making you my love prisoner, and I will not be yours. And that's when you have good relationships, because that person chose you. And that was the argument that we used to have at Free Will, and that was the place I came down on. I made one of my speeches on it, and it wasn't a dry in the house, but it was real simple. I'm gonna give you guys this, and then I'm gonna read some of your guys' comments. I said, I was like, if God made the angels, then why would he turn around and make people? It's like, well, if you look at that theory from a Christian perspective, the angels, they say, serve God because it's programmed into them to do so. Okay. But here we are given free will, they say. So why would we have free will? Because love is not love unless it's given to you by choice, in full knowledge of who and what you are. Now, and for those of you, because I have a lot of Christians who follow me, for those of you who are Christian, you got to understand it, that if even the Creator and the Most High wants to be chosen, okay, then shouldn't we all have the right to be chosen for what we truly are? It's not really a choice if there's deception. You can trick it. And I'm not talking about, listen, I'm not talking about that you can't sweeten a person magically. I'm not saying you can't do anything. I'm not even saying you can't trick and manipulate. But the higher path, the highest path is choice. Okay. And for choice to be real, truth must reign. It's like, I don't even know how to make that any plainer. It has to be real here. It has to be real here. And then what you draw to you will be real. Like some of you are trying to force yourselves to be gay, trying to force yourselves to be straight. You don't even know what you are. Okay? You don't. You are really, truly still a victim of a lot of programming. And because you cannot stand that silence that comes up and tells you that you need to work on you, you keep jumping in bed with all these different people. Keep jumping into relationships, jumping into all this extra activity. And you can do that for the rest of your life. And when you come back next lifetime, it'll be that much harder for you to work through your situation. At some point though, baby, you're going to have to face you. Can't hide it behind other relationships and keep pointing at other people about how they treat you. Stop treating yourself that way and things will change. Okay? Right. Now, I will agree with you on that, Jan. It's positive and it's negative on every side of the bench. When you are hopping in and out of bed with different people, there are all kind of dangers to that. However, to be real, there are women and men right now who, in all of their loving faithfulness, still ended up contracting a disease they can't get rid of. Why? Because they trusted the wrong person. So there's pros and there's cons and there's all kind of things on either side. But in the beginning, what you must do is understand who you truly are. And now I'm going to say this about embracing your true self. Let's just use this because I had people bring this up every time I talk about this. Like, well, what if you like sleeping with kids or whatever? Okay, well, listen, let's just be realistic. If you're a pedophile being in denial that you're a pedophile is only going to keep building the pressure till you break. Okay. So, first thing you need to do is admit and realize that you are a pedophile. Then, the life that we live in the spiritual system is all about alchemy. Alchemy is the whole basis. What is alchemy? Soul alchemy is transformation of the self into something higher than what you currently are, something better, something lighter, something that you can be proud of. Okay. So starting in this base state, I have these sick ideas, thoughts, and desires. But because I can do alchemy on myself, I can purge my heart of this stuff and become better. Guess what you won't do though, if you never admit where you are? You won't ever purge and you won't ever do the alchemical process because you won't acknowledge that it's needed. You will only do alchemy when you realize it's needed. Like, for instance, I was extremely jealous. And after getting so many felonies and getting to a place where the police in my hometown wouldn't even protect me because they didn't know. It's like if she involved, she probably either started it or it's gonna be something outrageous. I mean, me and my ex got into an argument or fight one day, and I called police. I look up the whole city there. It's like 4 or 5 police cars. And they wanted to handcuff me and him. It's like, dang, I didn't even do nothing. I'm calling y'all to help me. But you have gotten that kind of a reputation for setting it off. You think that's cool. Now you're suffering for it. And I realized that I have done some stupid stuff. I've been to people's jobs. I've burned up houses. I've burned up vehicles. I've cut tires, busted windows, jealous rages. And I don't want to live my life in prison. It only takes one time to go and meet somebody who 18 talking about they got life, no possibility for parole. Like, oh yeah, I ain't that bad. I want to live my life. I don't want to be here for the rest of my life. Inner alchemy is triggered at that point. It's like, how do I get rid of this trigger? That's the question that causes alchemy. How do I get rid of these things that I don't like about myself? Okay. But first, you got to realize what it is about yourself that's real right now. You can't skip that process. And a lot of people, you're scared to look at yourself. You don't like what you see and you feel like you're going to be stuck. Well, the second part of the process is alchemy. You're not stuck. You're not a tree. You can get up and purge. You can break yourself down repeatedly. You can be that clay that's on the potter's wheel, and you can do that thing until there's not an imperfection in it that you can feel. Okay, over and over and over again. This is a lifelong process. And so I do want to make that clear, because I'm not trying to tell you guys go out and be a hoe. I mean, I'm saying own your stuff, and let other people own their stuff. Quit making people feel like they got a lot of you, and then you might get the truth a whole lot more often, so you can make better decisions. Yes, Valerie, so busy hiding what you are, you can't heal it. Yes, Nicole, it is. Healing is the best work ever. That's what I say too, to Wanda. If I gotta make you want me, I don't want you. I mean, I don't want to have to do that every day. Like, I would like to be comfortable. Like, y'all see me with this wig on or whatever. It's like, I don't do this for a man, because any man that's in my life, he gonna see, because I went natural. And right now up under here is all of these twists and curls and spirals that I don't know what the hell to do with. But when this video is over with and when I'm done running around for the day, this coming off. And dude, if you can't handle the naps, I mean, I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you. I don't want to have to pretend to keep somebody happy. Nobody should live like that. I've lived like that. Trust me, I'm only speaking from personal experience. It's not cool. Yeah, yeah, Tawanda, and that's another one. It is, they will talk about, I'm gonna tell you something, and I learned this from going through it. My ex, that the last one that I stabbed, he was a hoe. He was, when I say he didn't miss much, he didn't miss much, but he always talking about somebody, and he loved talking about fat girls and fat nasty this and fat nasty that. He always had something to say about fat girls. But then when I had moved to Texas, and when I came back home to visit, what was he laid up with but a fat girl? It's like, you can't, girl. These people will talk about you and want to be right up in your face. Okay, so I don't let what people say bother me no more. Yeah, and we can't allow people to suppress our sexuality. I'm gonna tell you this right here: the idea that you can only have sex if you're married, that's bull crap. Okay, because even if you go through the Bible's understanding, in the beginning, marriage was sex. Okay, there was not ceremonies or whatever. Okay, but even if you look prior to that, you just got to understand that the whole ideology of I need to be married to you before we have sex and we need to be the only two that we have sex with is just some way to control and bring order. Now, I'm not going to say that we ought to be walking down the street seeing orgies everywhere and all kind of sordid stuff, because there are sordid people. Rules and regulations. Listen at this, and I'm gonna hit y'all with the Bible because I got a lot of Bible followers. It talks about how there's a time when you have taskmasters and teachers. You come to a place where you need teaching and training. Those rules are set in place to control you because you have not yet learned to control yourself, because you don't know who you are, because you don't know what honor is, self-honor, and this, that, and other. So yes, leave the churches, leave the mosques, leave all of that organized religion. I ain't telling nobody to leave what they believe, because everybody not ready for freedom, because they're fools. Freedom is not for a fool. Okay, so when people try to suppress sexuality, they're trying to create order out of chaos, because some people are chaotic with what they do and they hurt people and they cause more damage. Okay, so this sexuality that I speak of embracing, it needs to come from a place of healing yourself so that you know yourself, and then you make self-honoring decisions. There are some men that you were meant to sleep with, and you might not see it, but they made you better just by being inside of you and sharing their energy with you. And there are some men that you needed to sleep with because you made them better and they needed your energy and it healed a certain part of them. And yes, now they're with the next chick and they're married and they're happy. Congratulate yourself, pat yourself on the back. That was your healing vagina. So, I mean, we got to deal with what's real. So I'm not gonna let somebody tell me what to do with my vajayjay. If they needed to control it, they'd have it. This is mine. I was born with it, and I'm gonna die with it. I like that, Jane. The Bible's like a toolbox. Yeah, it's a esoteric book. It's full of information that can be used to help you. Now, yes, listen, I will say this because I never talk about safe sex. Safe sex is almost required nowadays, even in a committed marriage or partnership, because as much as you could say it's committed, a lot of times only one person is committed, and diseases are rampant. For that matter, most of these diseases are man created. Okay, so you need to protect yourself. And on top of that, guys, listen, because I did bring up about sexual freedom. Let me go back and redress that this way. Your sexual freedom is not an excuse to lay up with what we would consider demons. How are you going to say you want to go on a journey of high vibrations, but you don't have any stays about who lays between your legs? Every energy don't agree with me. Let me tell you a story about rats. Rats are so unique. They can smell genetic deformity in a mate. And so they will not sleep with someone. They will not have sex and procreate with something that is genetically deformed. Have you ever noticed that you really rarely ever see a genetically deformed mouse, unless it's in a laboratory because of something that they're doing. Naturally, though, they can smell issues in the blood and they won't do it. Now, if an animal who don't go to school, don't go to church, don't, you know what I'm saying, can sense that and not deal with one another, even female dogs, and I didn't realize this. I talked to this guy who breed dogs, said that sometimes you just cannot get a female dog to allow, those that can defend themselves. Dogs are raped a lot. He said this, not me. But sometimes you can't get a dog to let another dog breed it because she don't like the energy coming off of that dog, and she will go through her whole heat process if that's the only option without doing anything. Animals, okay, we say we're a higher being, but yet we don't have no discernment about what we lay up between our legs. He a drunk, an alcoholic, a drug addict, a dropout and everything else. And I'm not judging them as is no good, but they got a place. And that's not with you if that's not where what the kind of life you want to live. It's a lot of you who are financially suppressed because everything you done let between your legs is financially suppressed. Energy is real. Please understand that energy is real. And when you're having sex, you're opening portals. It's not just a physically pleasurable thing. This is a spiritual, energetic thing. And so, whether you're trying to practice tantra or not, the portals are always open. Tantra is just you learning to take advantage of the portal so you're not creating some stuff you don't want to live later. But the portal opened during sex. And when you're laying up with a go nowhere, do nothing type of person and you think you finna to go somewhere, I want you to show me somebody who's been able to do that successfully. Okay. Yeah, Shauna. Yes. You know what, Tawanda? I'm so glad you mentioned that. Guys, Tawanda has said here, the operative word being let. She said, I find it funny when men get mad and say we don't let them lead. If you got so much power, why you need my permission? That just shows we got the power and we do. And I do hate that. I have gotten a lot of men told about that, that when during sessions, like she won't let me be a man. Negro, weren't you born a man? It's like, so when did she become somebody that has a say in what sex you are? Okay. Well, I mean, I want to lead. If you want to lead, lead. Well, she won't let me then. Okay. I mean, realistically, think about how many people stay in relationships mad and miserable. I think about sometimes I've heard old men under the tree, they be talking. I was a kid talking about, I guess I better go on home. I mean, look at what they call women sometimes, refer to women as ball and chains and that kind of thing. Because he got to act a certain way that he might not want to act. Like, did nobody tell you to stay in a relationship? You can always get up and leave it. And me personally, I feel like the highest form of honor is to allow each person to be where they want to be. You know, I want to be in this kind of relationship doing these different kind of things, and you are in the way of that. And so because you are, I'm not going to sacrifice myself to make you happy. And I went through that in a prior relationship, prior marriage. He was like, you hurting me by leaving. I said, and I'm hurting me by staying. And that was the day that I woke up and realized that it sometimes can be, when it comes down to a choice like that, like I'm suffering in it and he suffers if I leave it. Holla. You'll get over it. Okay. I'm not going to hurt myself anymore and ask somebody else to treat me right. It's like, hell, you ain't treat yourself right. Okay. All right. And that's exactly right, Christy. If the women stop, like I'm gonna tell you guys something, ladies, because it's a lot of you on here. You have more power than they give you credit for. Men are builders, but they're more like drones. Not that they're mindless, not that they're worthless, not that they're lower than us. They're I'm gonna be diplomatic here. They have a different purpose, a different lane, which causes them to be equipped differently. Okay. This power play that we see play out all the time, men against women and women owning and men owning and men suppressing. Even when you think about it, a woman takes a man's name in marriage. It was a long time we was considered our husband's property and all of that. Okay, when you think about that, that is something that was allowed. A lot of women still to this day, for the sake of security, give themselves into the slavery of a man. Okay. And so, but the truth of the matter is, sweetie, you are the most secure place in the world for you. You are the safest place. I remember I used to have this idea, and I dated a lot of men with big muscles, what they would call fine, tall, big. I needed that because I grew up being raped and molested. And I felt like I wasn't protected and I wasn't secure, and anything could happen to me. And so I always drew to men who I felt like could protect me. And I remember one time when I was young, it was right after I had my son, so I was like 15 years old. Um, no, I was 16. So, my stepdad got into a fight with this guy who had tried to fight my mom, and I attacked him because my mama had my baby in her arms, and the knife stuck me in the hand. It was just a poke. It wasn't that bad, but my stepdad, going to defend me, ended up jumping out on this guy, and this guy beat him so bad that his mind never was right with a gun. They had this gun battle. It was just a big old mess. I was young at the time, and that was one of those things that stuck with me, because big, strong, tall does not breed safety. What does? Being 100% fully yourself and 100% trusting of the technology that is you. Now I tell you, I don't live my life. I don't carry knives anymore. And I never thought that I would really be able to stop, okay? I don't carry knives. I don't carry guns. I don't need to. I live by my intuition. If I get an inkling that I don't need to go this way, I'm not going. I don't care who I told I was coming. It's not going to happen. If I get an inkling that this person is doing something, I treat them like they did it. I don't need you to tell me no, yes, no. I don't need no verification anymore. I don't live like that. I live by divine inspiration. You're not good for me. Like, I love you though. You probably do. It's something. I don't have to wait on it. I ain't waiting on the chaos anymore. And a lot of us, that's how we have become victims of many things, waiting on the chaos, because we don't trust what we just know and what we just feel. So we got to wait on the proof and all that stuff. No, I don't do that anymore. Okay. So we have given up a lot of our power as women. And because of that, we don't trust what's truly us. We are the prophetesses. We are the psychics. We are the clairvoyant people. We are the goddesses. We have the power to create and destroy, while all a man can do really is destroy. So in so many ways, we are the stronger sex. And when there was a beginning, if you could ever trace it back to the beginning, in the beginning was both in one, with the feminine being the most dominant aspect, and that's why it was birth a universe. Now, you can argue with me if you're a man, you can argue with me if you're a woman, but that is what it is. Because the universe, everything is a fractal. How the hell would the creator of all things be just masculine and men can't have babies? That's just stupid to me. I'm really being honest. That's stupid to me. Now, one of these days I might learn something different, but until I do, okay, you got to look at what's true. If it's a fractal, then source of all is oneness of, or combination of both sexes in one being, because it doesn't own a sex, male and female. The duality happened for us to understand and enjoy and have experiences. But the highest place is when you marry your masculine and your feminine, no matter what dominant body you have. I'm in a masculine body, I'm in a feminine body, but you have both principles inside of you. And you're most powerful when you allow them both to come together, okay? But at the end of the day, for those who want to create, you must get into your feminine principle. You must. A woman don't have to touch her masculine principle to have a successful life. But if she wants to be her most powerful self, she does need to. But for a man to have a successful life, he's going to have to touch his feminine principle. For a woman to have a successful life, she has to live in her feminine principle. Okay? And so that's what I mean by that. Now, guys, listen, I know you guys have been asking about the body butters. I have 3 different body butters. I have made more, so more stuff will be shipping out Monday. I'm gonna be making orders all day today. Do you guys know that I have 820 orders to fill total? And when I say that, I'll say this much of it. Four parts of that order come from distributors. So I have people who's gonna be or retailers. I have people who's gonna be selling like my products and stuff in their stores, and I have people that's already doing it. So yeah, so that covers about 240 products. So I got to make that. But I did let them know that their products would come after all of you guys who have bought on the website and bought directly. My first um my first line of business or order of business is to make sure that you guys get your orders. I'm almost done filling all of the 6 for 100 orders. For those of you who participated in the customer appreciation special, thank you. I appreciate it. I didn't expect to do so many. So yeah, so anyway, I'm definitely finding a way to streamline the process so it's not so time consuming, and I'm making bigger vats of oils. I really have been debating on whether or not I'm gonna hire somebody to come in and help me create oils, because I'm already at a place where I'm almost maxed out. But that's a good thing. You know, I'm grateful. I'm grateful for the success, but success is something that you need to be really truly prepared for. So again, I'm not doing as many readings, but I do still do them. I also do have, it's on the website. For some reason, some of you are having a time booking the Facebook message only reading option for $55. If you're having a problem, inbox me at MRain page or on the Magical Mystic page or group, and I will get you scheduled and send you an invoice. Okay, the other thing is this, guys. There are so many new products coming out. There are some products that I'm probably going to discontinue, so be careful. Be sure you're watching the website, okay? So if there's a product that I have out now that you really, really like, be watching on the Magical Mystic page, okay? Because when I get ready to discontinue products, I'm going to use that page to announce what will be going. Guys, the Mesmerize was already a limited edition special, and I will be probably discontinuing that at the end of this month. It's not because it don't sell, but it's just, it was always supposed to be limited edition. And I have some more stuff. I am so happy about Femininity, which is my Lilith inspired body butter, and I am waiting on my labels before I put that on the website. So that's something that you guys can look forward to. The Tantric Heat Body Butter is amazing for people who are doing Tantra, who want to increase the pleasure and the power of their sexuality. The Lux of Lakshmi is a happy, joyful butter. It's a butter of wealth and lavishness and all of that. All of my body butters are magical butters. They do have great they're blended in a way that you can use it for your skin. It makes it soft. Like my skin has been glowing or whatever, but they are magical. Okay, so when you put on the Lux of Lakshmi, you know, you're kind of putting on something that's infused with her energy. So you have to remember that. Because I have had one person who said that they felt all these tingles all day long. So like, if you're not into the magical aspect of it, you might want to get just a normal body butter that's still really good. Like I have an apprentice, Donnie Floyd, who makes this whipped body butter. It's called Simply Delish, and it is amazing. I use that when I'm not doing the magical thing. I kind of been in love with the Lux of Lakshmi though. I've been wearing the heck out of it, but I'm already almost out of it. So I use Donnie's because it's really great for your skin. It keeps it soft, and it just feels like you putting on, I don't know, a fur coat or something like that. So that's just to kind of make you guys aware. My Mystic Rain blend is for channelers, mediums, people who are into energy work or whatever. It's relaxing. It helps you to sink into trance state. It helps you to channel. It helps you to get messages. It is a powerful magical blend infused with my own energy. So that's what that is. And what else did I want to talk to you guys about? Okay, guys, the other thing is when it comes to scheduling, my scheduler on my website sometimes I hadn't been updating it because I'm kind of trying to decide if I want to do a different scheduler. A lot of you guys have problems with it. So if you book a session or something like that, be sure that you inbox me to verify the times, and we agree on a time, okay? Because I had 5 or 6 people who booked a reading, and it's a phone reading, okay? But they booked a time on the website, the only one that they said they could get it to go through on, where I wasn't available. So I just want to make you guys aware we're working on it. Until then, inbox me on my in-ring page so that I can definitely get you scheduled. And for those of you who have had readings before, you already have my cell phone number. You can text me. So, oh, the webpage is magicalmystic.com. That's MAGICKAL mystic.com. And there's rituals there and all kind of stuff. Yes, indeed, Tawanda. I know that's right. Denise, okay, men have they teach that? Okay, I'm gonna go on and answer that question because that's important. The guy said men have the life and carry it semen, saying women are just the soil. What do you think? Well, I think that is that is like a ton of hogwash. Because women, their eggs can be fertilized by themselves. A man can carry his sperm until his ball sacks bust, and it ain't gonna get nothing out of it. A woman can reproduce asexually, and that has been proven before. You know what I'm saying? So but I'm telling you something. I don't get mad at the men who live right now because I understand that they're just a victim of programming, and some of them want to be willfully blind. Hell, who wouldn't want to be top dog and all that? But to me, I love men who bow to the supremacy of a woman, because that shows that he understands something, that really without women, the world ends. What could a man do about it? Okay? And it just is what it is. Okay. Yes, girl. Yes. The 820, about 400 and something of those are going to stores, but I got another close to 4 that'll be coming to you guys. Yes, they do. I know that's right, Christy. All right, guys. Well, I gotta go. It's been about an hour and a half. I love y'all. Um, will the upcoming manifest ritual be different from the last? Um, yes and no. I'm not gonna allow as many people. I'm trying to decide on what limitations I'm gonna put on it. But it will be different in the sense that the last manifest ritual I did openly as a fire ritual because it was a group ritual. These manifest rituals I'll be doing every month from now on will be done on my own personal money altar. So it's me sharing energy from a portal that's been open and worked on and taken care of for a long time. So it's more powerful in one perspective. And it's also going to be more powerful because I'm not going to allow just 1,000 folks to sign up for it or whatever. I just got to decide what number I'll stop at. Not maybe I'll just intuitively decide after so many, I'll just, close it off or whatever each month, because I don't want to drain my own source. You know what I mean? I'm sharing, but I don't I ain't trying to drain my own source. So I've been blessed. My income has been doubling every month since last year. And since the last part of last year, like starting around October or November, it keeps doubling, it keeps doubling, it keeps doubling. And here's the funny thing, because somebody, and I understand it's a lot of people out here who tell you, oh, you need to work with me because I can teach you how to manifest, but you're a part of their manifestation in the sense that if nobody bought their classes, then they wouldn't be having it, they wouldn't have any money. Well, from my perspective, because this girl said, well, when you got all these people, 1,000 people paying you $22 for a ritual, then of course you're going to manifest. But here's the funny thing, that's not my only source of manifestation. The courses is one thing, the rituals are another thing, the books are another thing, my publishing company and other people's books are another thing, the readings are another thing. And believe it or not, I've had so many people who have tipped me more than they paid for whatever service they use because of the benefits that they got from it. And so because of stuff like that, and then I've had people give me thousands of dollars of stuff. I mean, folks are always inboxing me asking me for my Amazon wish list. I have so much activity on that list, it's not even funny. And need to go probably remove a couple of things today because people are always buying and giving and stuff like that. Folks randomly paying a bill for me, or all kind of stuff. So guys, manifesting, when I say that I can help you manifest, or when I say I'm sharing my manifestation energy, just know that this is something that is not just mystical and magical. There's all kinds of irons in the fire that bring me income. Okay. So that's why I feel qualified to do courses, because I understand, you know, the publishing info, my website is Lanico Media House. That's Lanico mediahouse.com. Right now, you're going to find a lot of Christian books there, but I have made the switch to, and soon we'll be announcing that I'll be doing a lot of metaphysical. I'm going to take the restrictions off. When I first started, though, I was a Christian publishing company. I love you guys too. Y'all have a good one. Y'all go and have a great Saturday. Enjoy yourselves. Let me see how I get out of here, guys. I do this every time. It's something about this. Hold on, y'all. No, wait. That ain't right. That mean I ain't done it in a while, okay? Okay, I figured it out. I love you guys.